Right here in the Rise News channel. It's now time to take a look at news stories making headlines around the globe. The Central Bank of Nigeria yesterday, CBN, directed commercial banks and other financial institutions in the country to continue to accept and pay out the old 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes till December 31st, 2023, in line with the recent Supreme Court ruling. In a statement signed by CBN's acting Director Corporate Communication, Dr. Isa Abdulmumil, the central bank disclosed that it had met with Bankers Committee and directed that the old banknotes remain legal tender along the redesigned notes. But an apparent reaction to the public unease over federal government's long silence and delayed response to the March 3 Supreme Court ruling on the currency redesign, the presidency yesterday said the CBN did not need a further directive from President Muhammadu Buhari to comply with the apex court order. The presidency said this in a statement by presidential spokesperson Malam Garba Shehu. Relatedly, the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, yesterday gave the federal government a one-week ultimatum to resolve the present scarcity of both naira and petrol, which had caused untold hardship to the masses or faced nationwide strikes. In another development, CBN Governor Mr. Godwin Emefiele described as fake news a report that he had launched a fresh plot against the president-elect, Bola Tinubu. A lot to chew on this morning, Ayo.
Yes, I'm trying to see which to stay on and then the others to just allow for Dr. Bati and yourself to take on. But very quickly, can I say, finally, we've gotten this directive that a number of Nigerians have been waiting for, particularly from the CBN. It's interesting that despite the ruling of the Supreme Court on the 3rd of March, 2023, that's about 10 days from today, some people were still reluctant to collect or accept the old notes or trade in the old notes. In fact, there had been talks around even banks rejecting collecting or a deposit of the old notes because they hadn't gotten perhaps that express direction from the CBN. So this is fantastic, excellent that the CBN has come up with this directive. But beyond that is also the impact that it's had on Nigerians in terms of this scarcity of notes. So what we're hoping to see in the next few days following this directive is that we'll have more naira in circulation, we'll have reduction in the queues, and of course, as the NLC has put it, a total eradication or perhaps reduction of the hardship, untold hardship on Nigerians. However, one of the things I must say, Rufai, is that this directive or the naira redesign policy actually there was a window, an opportunity there that I hope we will not lose. Now we have access. So as you mentioned, the main story is that until the 31st of December 2023, both old and new notes will work side by side, would be legal tender side by side. But the opportunity this presents is that in the last 3 months, when following the introduction of the new naira notes and initially before the court had ruled on the 3rd of March, Nigerians had begun to embrace using other payment methods. And it further deepened the CBN cashless policy, whereby we were able to use. I shared the story of how even in traffic you'd be making transfers. I don't know if it's legal to even buy stuff in traffic, but as we see often when you buy plantain or things on the road, people started accepting transfers. We saw food sellers, tomato. You'd go to and more people opened bank accounts. More people embraced using technology, USSD payment, online transfers, e-naira. So it gave that opportunity. In fact, the banks were so burdened that they were not able to manage it. We had a number of failed transactions. By the way, I hope the banks will begin to reverse those transactions because some of them haven't. Had a transaction from December that has not been reversed until now. Whoa. So yes, and I'm not the only one. A number of people have complained about that because they were burdened. But I want us to see the opportunity here. The CBN has given the directive. We go back to using the old naira notes and the new naira notes. But please, let's not wait till December to begin to scramble again and say that we need more time. I believe that this gives us an opportunity we should embrace and not let go of. So the habits we have inculcated, whereby we had less notes on us and we relied more on technology, let us continue. And then the onus is on the banks and mobile companies to build the infrastructure to be able to accommodate the number of people who want to use technology as a means of transaction or transferring money. So again, like I mentioned, I won't touch on the other stories because of time, but I'll just say that I'm glad that this has finally happened. We're looking forward to seeing less reduction in queues. Please, can we make this information, and this is what we're doing today, very loud and so that people can hear it and begin to accept the older notes as legal tender. And very important, please, let's not lose the gains we've gotten from the last 3 months.
Dr. Bati?
What is the context of this conversation?